Hello and welcome to this how-to video from eWardWinning Outdoors at ewardwinning94.wordpress.com. This evening I'm going to address an issue that is apparently a fairly common problem with the Mossberg 500 shotgun. The Mossberg 500 and the Remington 870 are probably two of the most common shotguns in the US, used for everything from hunting to law enforcement. They're endlessly customizable. They're relatively inexpensive and they just flat work. But I got one a while back. I bought it used from a trusted gun dealer friend of mine. It works great, except for one problem, and that is that the safety button here was extremely hard to manipulate. Trying to slide that forward and backwards, I would about tear my thumb. And it worked so hard, I basically couldn't use the safety. And that's really not acceptable. It's an important function. They call it a safety reason or a safety button because it is for your safety. But I couldn't use it. It just wouldn't slide properly. Did a little online research and found out it's a really common problem. And it's super simple to fix, except that the manufacturer, the problem is that this bolt here is too tight, but the manufacturer put a screw in there that's designed to not be removable. It's one of those ones that when you try to turn it with a screwdriver, your screwdriver slips out. And many people were lamenting the idea that you can't remove it. It's a gunsmith job that you got to have a special tool for. I didn't find that acceptable. I don't give up easily. Once I start a project, I want to finish. So what I found out worked really slick. I've actually got it held up in a bar clamp you can't see here. But I took a little center punch and went up to one side of that non-removable screw and simply tapped it a couple times with a little ball peen hammer. And it didn't take a real hard tap, but just a couple of taps got that screw to turn. And once it did, then I was able to use a regular screwdriver to unscrew it. Now be cautious when you do that, because right underneath here, there's a little ball bearing that sits in a depression both on the button and on the frame underneath. And that's actually what gives it the click when it slides forward and backwards. If you drop that, if you lose it, that's the kind of piece that will roll across your workshop and turn a 3-minute job into a 45-minute job, looking for the stupid little piece, because without it, you're stuck. So be careful not to lose that. Work someplace that if it does drop out, you don't lose it. The other thing is, once you remove this button, there's actually an opening down into the frame where the mechanism of the slide works, and you could actually drop that little ball bearing down into the frame of your gun. It's not going to destroy anything, but you're going to spend, again, quite a bit of time trying to get that dumb little piece out, and you're not going to get done until you get it out. Once you get that non-removable screw loosened, you don't have to take it all the way out. I found that on mine, just a quarter turn or less moved it from totally non-functional to now it's still got a nice crisp click to it. There's no question when it slides forward and backwards, and yet it's easy to manipulate. It's easy to engage the safety when you're not ready to shoot, leave it on until you're ready to shoot, and that's part of the point of a safety. I was having to hunt with the safety disengaged because I simply couldn't disengage it to take a shot. Now, very easy to slide back and forth, simple repair. All it took was a small ball peen hammer, a small center punch, lining that center punch up on one of those, I don't know what you'd call it, but one of the sticky uppy parts on that non-removable screw, tap it a couple times to start turning. And once I got it turning, then just a standard flat screwdriver was able to tighten it and loosen it. And I found if I actually loosened it too far, it didn't work well either. So there's kind of a sweet spot there. Adjust a little bit, play with it, get it the way you like it, and you'll have a very functional safety on your Mossberg 500. Bad design. If anybody knows anybody at Mossberg, tell them to replace that dumb screw with a standard one. Since this is apparently a recurring issue and it's a super simple adjustment anybody can make, a standard Phillips or flat screw or Torx or Allen head or anything else would be better than one of those non-removable. And it's not like the user's going to ruin something by removing that screw. Enough of the rant. Hope this helps you if you're dealing with that problem. Hope you can benefit from having a 1-minute repair instead of having to send it to a gunsmith. Thanks for watching. Feel free to click down below if you like this, and if you want to subscribe to see more handy hints about the outdoors, hunting, fishing, camping, cooking, you name it, you can subscribe to my channel and see more. I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time.